Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Semakula Kevin and my Islamic name is Bashar. I was born in 2001 in Uganda. I am 23 years old right now. One day, it was the month of Ramadan. Our friend was going to the mosque because my first friend was called Ali. He was a Muslim. So he was going to the mosque after fasting in the evening. So he was like, Kevin, do you mind if you escort me to the mosque? I was like, sure, it's fine. There was food and I was like, I'm going to enjoy the food that side. So I went to the mosque, and when we reached the mosque, he said, I'm going to fast prayer. I was like, you're going to pray? Yeah. So that was my first time actually going to the mosque, because I knew that there are mosques exist because we used to pass via them. Yeah, that's a mosque, you know how it, but I didn't know what really was the mosque, what was there. So I tried to peep around inside what's there, to see what's going on. And I could see everything. I was like, these people, what are they doing, Then after he had finished, he came out. So my first curiosity was like, bro, why do you guys remove the shoes when you're entering? He was like, no, it's obvious. How can you enter the house of the Lord with your shoes? And I was like, okay. So we enjoyed the meal and we went back home. So now from that day, I started thinking about that thing. If someone can certainly think about that small thing that we didn't even value in my faith, right? I was like, when you're also entering in the house, you also leave the shoes outside. Just simple as it is. And that's what exactly they were doing. So the next day, because on every Sunday, we have to attend the prayers, right? So now I was curious about everything. I was like, I started getting questions within me, though they were now young, not that at a higher level. So now I was seeing all the pictures around, and I was like, yeah, now I see what happened during those days, But still, I was still focusing on the shoes issues. So I asked the person who was sitting to me, my neighbor, why do you think we enter with the shoes inside the holy place? Then he was, yeah, it's a holy place. And I'm like, so why do we enter with the shoes? Why don't we leave them outside? Because we pass through a lot of things on the way that are, they're impure. They are not worthy going within it in the holy house. Then he had no answer. He kept quiet, and after some time he said, we are not allowed to speak. I was like, okay, if you can't answer that, it's fine. So I left that because I couldn't hold on to that. Why do we go with our shoes? I just ignored it and I moved on. Now, during that was 2014, I was during the primary living examination, right? I met another brother. He was a Muslim, right? And he really practiced Islam, to my view, because I didn't know what even Islam, but I knew a Muslim had to pray that way. He was welcoming, friendly. I really loved him, so we came close, right? And he started telling me about Islam, right? So now I was like, so can I also become a Muslim? He said, yes, you can become a Muslim. I said, how? Then he was young, so though he was a sheikh, but 14 age, 15, he was also young. He told me, oh, you need to take Shahada. Then after that, you're a Muslim. I said, wow, when I'm not even circumcised. He said, no, you don't need all that. You just need that small thing. Then I said, no, let me take Shahada. Let me take Shahada and become a Muslim, During the next time, I remember the director of the school was told that I have been changed because I was in a bursary, and he was very excited. Oh, now you're a Muslim. Yeah, I said, yes, I'm a good Muslim. I was proud. Now I'm a Muslim, So every morning we had to wake up and go to the mosque, pray. I did, and during that time, it was almost to the end of our, our, it's the year of learning, the upmost time. So it was around the end. Like there were remaining like 2 weeks remaining for us to go back home. So I was really passionate and I did everything I could, go and pray all the prayers. Now, out of the blue, I got the sujood, right? The sujood here in my forehead. So after that, we ended the school, we went back home. Now that's where the calamity began. Because the first time my father saw me, at the first place, he saw that the black thing in my forehead and was like, "What's that?" I said, "What?" I had not also known that I have it in the forehead, so I was like, "What? What's that I am seeing in your forehead? What's there?" Then my mother called me and he told me, have you been praying? I was praying what? Did you convert to Islam? Then I told her everything that was going on. Then she told me, if you're wise, you better forget everything about that and move on and do what your father tells you. Otherwise, I cannot be on your side also. And I said, now what's going on? Then my father was very harsh, He was like, I can't even chase you out of the house just because of that. That was all. And from that day, though I was very interested and I loved everything, but I had to give up it in order to attain the peace at that moment, right? It was 2023 when I got the opportunity to come to Bahrain. And my mother was in Bahrain, so she asked me if I could accept to come and work from here. I first thought about it. I was going to reject, but I was like, okay, if it's fine, I can come. If it's fine with me, I can come. Then after thinking about it, I accepted and I came here. Okay, to cut the story short, when I reached here, I think that was after 4 days, because we were living in the onboarding, right? 4 days, we were there in our accommodation, just there chilling. You wake up, you drink, you sleep. So it was around 6 p.m. I was sleeping. Then one man came into our room. I was like, now who's? Because every person who would come to our accommodation, I was like to know who's that person. So now this man came and he was strange. So I was like, who's that man there? He came. He was talking to other guys who were around there. The way they were talking to him, they were reacting as if they knew him. You understand? They are used to him. They are consulting him about everything. I didn't give them that mind. I was just lying on my bed seeing them. Okay, you are there. I said okay. Then after talking to those guys, maybe he noticed that I was there, and maybe he had also noticed it before. Then he was like, "Hi, bro." I said, "Hi. What's your name?" I'm Kevin. "Oh, Kevin, do you know anything about Islam?" I said, "Yes, of course. I even studied Islam in Form 4, that is higher level, advanced level. And I know Islam." It was the first question he asked me, "What's your purpose in life?" Then I was like, "Yes, I am sure I have a purpose, but what's that purpose? What's that purpose?" I said, "I don't know, honestly, I don't know that purpose. But I think maybe there's some reason why we live, but I can't tell you the exact thing." Then he said, "Bro, come on. We are intelligent. We have the opinion of the truth and the wrong. We can decide the truth and the wrong. How comes that you even don't know that simple purpose of life? And how old are you?" I'm like 22 years old, and he said, 22 years old, you even don't know the purpose of life, and you've almost lived 22 years without knowing why you're living. So now what's all the life about? Is life about eating, growing, producing children, living a happy full life or sad full life, whatever your life might be, then die, and after that's all? So I thought about what he was talking. I was like, sure, that's not what life is all about. There should be something. And I asked him, what do you think life is? What do you think the purpose of life? Then he told me, sure, there is a purpose of life, but I can't even tell you the purpose of life when you don't know Islam. You know nothing about Islam, you know. I will first introduce everything to you, then afterwards, you can know everything. Then he told me, then he introduced Islam, everything, like Islam, the will of the submission to the will of Allah. Then after everything, he told me what the purpose of life. The first thing I thought of was not telling anyone that I have changed to Islam, because I had that that memory of what had happened before, and I didn't want it to happen now. Though I was strong, that I knew I'm independent now. I can decide anything, and no one can stop me. Though, but still, I didn't want, you know, to insult them. I didn't want them to feel like you know, I'm neglecting everything, I'm mistake, you know. I didn't want to insult them in any way. So I was like, I'm going to keep it in my heart so that no one knows. Then after like 1 week, I started now asking myself, so will I live the rest of my life in this way? Will I live the rest of my life when I'm hiding from them? Because from the rest of the people, I can't hide, you know. I'm a Muslim and I'm proud that I am. But from them, you know, I didn't want to get that attitude, you know, from them, because there is a way it hurts, you know, to see the people very close to you, they don't move along the same way with you, right? So I didn't want that. So I first kept it in my heart that indeed I'm a Muslim and I don't need their views. Whatever they think, it's up to them. But then after I got everything, I started thinking, I'm like, what if I can get away to make them know that I'm a Muslim, but I can't tell them directly, you know. It's different. You don't come and say, Mom, you know, I changed to Islam, you know. No. Another way that will be better, you understand? So what I did, I started practicing Islam. Whenever we could communicate, I would tell her, I've been praying, you understand? She was, you're praying? Yes, I'm praying. And if she wants to ask something more, I try to stop the conversation. But now she starts getting that maybe there's something going on here. And then I told my brother, my brother is called Brother Saif, yeah? I told him, Brother Saif, do you mind if we go and visit my mother for some time? Then she was like, sure, that's the best idea, you know, if you. Then we went and visited her. Now, that day when we visited her, that was the sprung that maybe this guy, you know, changed to Islam. Because when we were introducing him, you know, he was like, I'm a Muslim, and he introduced himself as everything as a Muslim. And then my mother made research on this person who I was with, and she discovered that, you know, he's a Muslim and he likes giving dawah and the rest. Then she was like, if my son is always living with this person, there is a high possibility that he's also changing to Islam, you know. I knew that she was thinking about it, though I kept it calm. And then after sometimes I start posting when I'm in the kanzu, when I'm, you know, I'm doing everything. So she's seeing everything, but she doesn't react. Now she's getting used to everything. Yeah? She's getting used to that picture. You understand? Then after recently, actually, like 1 week or 2 weeks ago, yeah. Then when we are conversing, because it was her birthday, then she was calling me, you know, and I told her, you know, I'm praying. Now she asked me. So now, no, she didn't ask me. She was like, so now they give even time for prayer? I said, yes, they give me time for prayer. Hey, now I see you're becoming a good Muslim. She spoke it directly, so she couldn't hide it anymore that she knows. So now you're becoming a good Muslim. So I didn't also want to disappoint her. I said, I'm indeed a good Muslim. Then she was fine. She didn't react anything. Then we moved on. So that's how she came to know that I'm a Muslim, but I didn't confront her directly. Then my father used to see that everything that I was posting. Then after seeing these things, she started asking my sister, do you think Kevin changed to Islam? So they called me Kevin. Do you think Kevin changed to Islam? Then my sister also had no idea. I don't know. Now she contacted me. For her, I'm very free with her. I told her, yes, I changed. Then she told me, your dad is always asking you whether you changed or what. I said I changed. Then after that, now I knew that my father now also has that in their mind. So I can now tell him. So I called him. We first just about other things. Then after the end, because he also wanted me to tell him the truth. I said, no, you know, I'm used to going to the mosque on Friday. So when I told him that, he said, oh, so now you're a Muslim? I said, yes, I'm a Muslim. Then he said, okay. Okay, so how did you become a Muslim? Why did you change to Islam? So he was asking me everything. Then I told him everything, how it was. I was just like, okay, no problem. He left it. Being a Muslim, there is hardly to get a word that I can explain how it feels. You know, when you're content in your heart that, and indeed I know the truth, that indeed now I'm moving in the right path. And if I get a word, then I'll be lying. There is no word that can explain that. But literally, you feel peaceful, right? You feel happy, because not just the happy of smiling, right? No, there is some different happiness that you feel. Yeah, you feel guided, that indeed you cannot, you know, go astray if you're a good practicing Muslim, right? And being in Bahrain is one of the, you know, I can't say it, because you get guided. Every time you're meeting a Muslim, every time you're making a mistake, someone is there and say, bro, you haven't got to the Salah yet. You said, oh, you even feel shy. I am a Muslim. So it's hard. It gives you literally small space of enjoying the wrong. We are always around other Muslims. That's the best thing. You know, you never get astray.